welcome back. In this lesson, we will be exploring active voice and passive voice. Active voice and passive voice. Sentences can be active or passive. Therefore, tenses also have active forms and passive forms. Let's do a little recap. So remember, we have three main tenses in English: past, present, and future. Remember, present is happening now, the past has happened, and the future will happen. So here we have a table of the tenses. We have the simple, the continuous, the perfect, and the perfect continuous. And each are affected by the present, past, and future. To make it a bit more complicated, we have, for each tense, the active form. So within the active sentences, the thing doing the action is the subject of the sentence. The thing receiving the action is the object. Active sentences are the most commonly used. Let's take a look at an example here. So, the thing or person doing the action, plus a verb, plus the thing or person receiving the action. So John is the person doing the action. So John punches James, and James is the person receiving the action. So this is an active sentence. Active. So remember, John, the person doing the action, punches James, the person receiving the action. Here we have some more examples. The clown entertains the audience. The clown entertains the audience. The clown is the thing or person doing the action, and the audience is the thing or person receiving the action. And entertains is the verb. So, here we've got another one. Harry tidies the room. Harry is the person doing the action, tidies is the verb, and the room is the thing or person receiving the action. Here we have Jane loves Darren. Jane is the person doing the action, love is the verb, and Darren is the person receiving the action. So what about the passive form? Well, the passive form, the thing receiving the action is the subject of the sentence. The thing doing the action is optionally included near the end of the sentence. So it's kind of turned around, switched around. So when to use the passive form? Well, the first thing, when the thing receiving the action is more important. So when the thing receiving the action is more important. Or two, if you do not know who is doing the action, you don't know who is doing the action. Or if you do not want to mention who is doing that action. So those are two reasons to use the passive form. Let's take a look at the passive form then. So remember, it's switched around from the active form. So it starts off with the thing or person receiving the action instead. You have to add the be verb and the past participle of the verb, then followed by. Then, optionally, you can add the person doing the action. So, James is punched by John. So James, the thing or person who received the action, is past participle of the verb, punched by John. Here we have some more examples. The audience is entertained by the clown. So the audience, the person receiving the action, is entertained by the clown, the thing or person doing the action. The room is cleaned by Tom. The room is cleaned by Tom. So the room, the thing or person receiving the action, is cleaned by Tom, the person doing the action. Darren is loved by Jane. Darren, the person receiving the action, is loved by Jane, the person doing the action. So, firstly, let's recap the tenses. We have the simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So let's start off with simple. Continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. We have present, past, and future. So we have the present, past, and future. So we'll use the verb run. So the simple present, I run. The past, I ran. The future, I will run. The continuous, when the action is ongoing, we have the present. I am running. I am running. The past, I was running. And the future, I will be running. We have the perfect tense when the actions are completed. So if the action is completed in the present, it's I have run. Remember, it's the past participle. And the past participle of run is run. The past perfect, I had run. And the future, I will have run. And finally, the perfect continuous. So the perfect continuous, let's do the present perfect continuous first. I have been running. The past perfect continuous, I had been running. And the future perfect continuous, I will have been running. So I will have been running. So let's take a look and see what changes with each tense. So with the simple, it's the verb that changes. Run, ran, will run. The continuous, it's the be verb. I am, I was, I will be. In the perfect, it's have, I have, had, will have. And in the perfect continuous, it's have as well. Have, had, will have. So these are all the tenses for the verb run. So, remember, sentences can be both active or passive. Therefore, tenses also have active forms and passive forms. So let's go through the forms. So let's have a look at simple present. Terry sells the house is the active. The passive, the house is sold by Terry. Simple past, John punched James. James was punched by John. Someone will start the party. Simple future. Someone will start the party. The party will be started by someone. Let's have a look at the present continuous. Right now, Debbie is writing the letter. Right now, Debbie is writing the letter. So we can say the letter is being written by Debbie. Is being written by. The past continuous. The manager was talking to the customer. The manager was talking to the customer. So we change this round. The customer was being talked to by the customer. Was being talked to by. Harry will be running home. Will be being run. Present perfect. Many people have visited London. So swap it round. London has been visited. Many people have visited. Has been visited. So London has been visited by many people. Past perfect. Alex had burnt his arm many times before he received treatment. So Alex's arm had been burnt. So had been burnt. Future perfect. The film will have finished when we get there. When we get there, the film will have been finished. Will The present perfect continuous. Recently, Sarah has been doing the work. The work has been being done recently by Sarah. So the work has been being done. Kyle had been playing as the drummer in a band for 2 years before he played the guitar. So we change this round. Instead of had been playing, had been being played. So, had been being played instead. Future perfect continuous. The famous artist will have been painting the mural for over 6 months by the time it is finished. By the time it is finished, the famous artist will have been being painting, will have been being painted. Will have been being painted. So here, by the time it is finished, the famous artist, the mural will have been being painted for over 6 months by the famous artist. Great. So let's go back and just recap. So, simple present, Terry sells the house. You change sells to is sold by. Simple past. Simple past, John punched James. You change it to was punched by. Simple future, will start, changes to will be started by. The present continuous, is writing, changes to is being written by. Past continuous, we've got talking, to. You change it to was being talked to by. Future continuous, will be running, will be being ran. We've got the present perfect. Many people have visited. Changes to has been visited by. Past perfect. Had burnt. Changes to had been burnt. Future perfect. Will have finished. Changes to will have been finished. Present perfect continuous. Has been doing. Changes to has been being done. Past perfect continuous. Had been playing. Had been being played. And finally, future perfect continuous. Will have been painting. Changes to will have been being painted. That's everything. Thank you very much.